Hi guys, can you guys hear me? Oh, I see a lot of people. This is going to be fun. We'll just wait a couple more minutes and then we will go in. Just to let you guys know, my name is Nimrah and I live in Florida. Hi Patricia, hi Monica. All right, couple more minutes. Thank you, Dana. Ooh, we have people from everywhere, anywhere. Anyone from Florida here? Thank you, Miss Toy. I just got them done today. I wanted to look nice for all of you ladies out there. Hi, Tanya. So, Florida, how to make your makeup basically last longer. That's exactly what we're going to be teaching you today, how to make it last longer. Oh, so many people from New York. Tampa, Georgia. Oh, there's so many people from Florida. I love this. Before we do start, I just wanted to let you ladies know that if you want to go and grab some of your products, you can do that. So while I am doing my makeup, you guys can follow me. So it's usually much easier while you're doing it with me. So if you do have any questions during that time, I will go ahead and answer it for you. Oh, Canada. Look at Il Maquillage giving me a shout out for my Instagram. Yes, follow me there. Hi Amber, I think yes, the videos will be there on the Il Maquillage YouTube, so you can watch them later. Alrighty, so it is 6 p.m., so let's start my time. So my name is Nimrah. I live in Florida. I have always lived in Florida. I'm originally from Miami, but recently my husband and I just moved from Miami to Orlando to try something new, and it's been really great, even though it has been such a hard time for all of us with the whole corona pandemics, but we can do this. We all can do this. So we're going to be doing Il Maquillage. I was given this amazing opportunity with Il Maquillage 5 months ago when I lost my job and I saw Il Maquillage was hiring. So this was very great for them. I love doing makeup. I have been doing makeup for like 8 years and I have loved every single day of it. I am good at certain things. I am still practicing. So nobody is perfect. So don't ever feel like you girls can't do it, because trust me, everybody can do makeup if You just try. You have to try. You don't need to be a professional. You can do it. So I do not have any foundation, primer, any single thing on. So I have already prepped my skin with moisturizer. So now we're going to be going in with the Il Makiage No Filter Primer. I absolutely love this primer, and the reason I always tell all my friends, all the ladies out there, wear a primer. It's like painting a wall. You need a primer, you need it to grip. That way you're actually going to be using less makeup, and your makeup will be lasting much longer and it looks more flawless. So it is the no filter priming base, basically. You don't need a lot of product, by the way. Whenever you do a primer, a little goes a long way. And I love starting primer in the middle of my skin, which is basically our T-zone. So start with your T-zone because this is the most problematic area for all of us out there. We get oily here, we have pores over here, redness. So rub that product in between your fingers and start tapping that in. So we're gonna do forehead. We're gonna do the cheek area. And then anything that's left over, we're just going to move it down and upwards. Remember, gravity, girls, gravity. All right. So I do like to give it a few seconds for it to settle in before I go in with my foundation. So there you go. Now I am going to be going into our Woke Up Like This foundation. So let's talk a little bit about foundation. I hope you guys have tried it. And for all my girls out there that have not tried this foundation, I am from Pakistan originally, so it is very difficult for me to find colors because I am extremely yellow and that olive undertone. So I always feel like it's so difficult because every time I go somewhere to get a foundation match, they either match me very orange or they always match me a little light and I end up looking very ashy. So I saw constantly on my Instagram and Facebook that Il Makiage was advertising and I was like, it's another gimmick. Like, there is no way they're going to have my foundation because people in real life can't match me. So I can't even imagine them matching me like on internet. So I took the quiz, and when I got my foundation, guys, I was surprised because this matches me so perfect that I couldn't believe it. And again, I'm a very yellow person and everything looks more orange on me. So I am going to be the color 125 in this. Always shake your foundation before you use it if it's sitting like this or depending on the weather you're in. So always shake it. I like taking a brush. You can do a brush. You can even do a sponge. That's a personal preference. It is a medium to full coverage foundation. It is super hydrating. It has vitamin E in it, which is great for all skin types. So even if you are a very oily person, you can still use it because it is breathable. So one little trick that I always love telling everyone, do not use too much. Always start with a little bit and then apply more. So always start with one pump, and then if you do need more, apply another layer. So a little bit, just like that. And the same thing that we did with our primer, we're going to do the same thing with our foundation. Always start in the middle of the face. This is where we need the most amount of coverage, and then everything else is whatever we have left over, so we do not look very cakey. So whenever you hold your foundation brush or any brush, always try to hold it further away instead of holding it very close to your skin because it's just better, it's breathable. So go like that, and instead of like moving the product around, tap it into your skin. That's the way you're gonna get the fullest coverage. So I'm just gonna start tapping that foundation in. Blend, blend, blend. New Harmony said she matched herself in the middle of the night while feeding my newborn. That is so funny. So we're just gonna keep blending. You can do a little bit underneath your eyes, but don't try to put too much product underneath your eyes because I feel like the more product you put, the less your under eye the more it creases. So now we're going to be going upwards onto our forehead. Always take it down, because when you take pictures, you don't want to look like, hey, where did that person go? You're two different colors. Always, if you're wearing anything and you're going to have your hair up, ladies, always try to go in this area with your foundation so everything kind of like matches. This was only one pump. And again, I am acne prone skin. I do have a lot of scars, and one pump covers it for me. So if you feel like it's not enough coverage for you, go ahead and add more. That's perfectly fine. Go around the mouth. Do not forget around the nose in this area. Far away, you want to look as airbrush as possible. Okay. Always right up here. Again, you don't want to look different colors. Internet. Okay, so once you are done with this, we're going to be taking our concealer. It's called Fuck I'm Flawless. I am number 10. So the concealer has so many undertones and colors too. If you are anywhere in the medium to tan skin tones or a deeper skin tone, and you feel like your under eye has a lot of darkness like I do, because again, I'm like my Asian under eyes, I have crazy dark circles. I love number 10. And the reason why I love number 10 is because it has that orange undertone. It has that beautiful orange color that color corrects, and it's also going to highlight you. So one little trick that you guys always see on Instagram and online on YouTube on these tutorials, everybody is going like 2 to 3 shades lighter. Just a little thing I want you to think about when you're putting on concealer: never ever go 2 shades lighter underneath your eyes when you have dark circles. Just think about it. If something is blue and purple and you're putting 2 shades lighter underneath it, it's going to look very gray and very ashy. You're never going to be able to conceal it by that. So the best way to do it is either you stick to a color first that's your same skin tone, or something that has an orange undertone. So that goes for every single skin tone. You can do something more on the orange side. How do you figure out concealer? That's what Mandy asked. So Mandy, when you do go and take your quiz online, they will ask you for your skin concerns. They're also going to be asking you about your undertone. So always pick the right undertone. And if you do not know your undertone, Il Maquillage, when they are doing your quiz, they will ask you about the colors of your veins and everything, so you can totally get the right color from there. So at this point, I'm going to be taking my concealer. So concealer, you can go a little heavy with instead of going foundation, because it is a little bit more pigmented. So in any area that you do need more coverage, go with that. So I'm going to be taking my concealer and I'm going to be dragging it down a little bit. Go in again, same thing. It doesn't need to be perfect because we are going to be blending it out. Okay, so we're going to be taking the brush, same exact thing. We are going to be blending it. Again, stipple it in instead of moving it around. I love bringing my concealer down all the way down here to my cheeks. So while we're getting into contour, the reason why I said to bring it down to the cheek is because when we do contour, this area is going to look super nice because the concealer is going to give you that natural light for the girls who do not like to put on powder highlight. So I like to bring it up to here. Nick said, how do you cover up the dark circles, but you also have bags because of the genetics? So bags is something very different. That would be like putting on some ice or something. But dark circles will be an orange corrector is going to be your best friend. And if you do not want to do a concealer shade more on the orange side, Il Makiage does have a color corrector on their website. And when you pick your peachy undertone, it's a cream base, so you can apply that before you apply on your concealer. Like, look at that. Look at how flawless that looks. And my dark circles are gone, which is a huge surprise. Kel said, how do you cover hyperpigmentation on chin from acne? So hyperpigmentation and your under eyes are basically the same thing. They are like not really the same thing, but when it comes about the color, they're around the same color. So again, your peach corrector is going to be your best friend. Same exact thing that you're going to do underneath your eyes is the same exact thing that you're going to be doing on your hyperpigmentation areas on your skin. And then you're going to go on top of it with your concealer. Nusha said, is there a color corrector from this brand? Yes, there is a color corrector from Il Makiage. It actually comes in a little cream formula, which is really good. And I love applying that with my fingertips instead of a brush because I feel like it really melts the product. Okay. So at this point, once you're done doing concealer, a lot of time girls do ask, like, my under eye is getting very creasy. I don't understand. No matter what I do, it's always getting creasy. Okay. What you can always do before you set your makeup, once you are done doing your foundation, and if you feel like your face is looking cakey, take a damp blender. And what we're going to do with this damp blender is we're just going to tap it. And the reason why we're going to tap it is because it's going to pick up any single product that's been extra sitting on top of our skin, so your skin can look super flawless. So at this point, this has picked up anything that was extra. Now, my third step, my favorite step, will be a powder. I love using the Il Makiage powder foundation. I do like translucent powders, but I do like a colored foundation powder. And that's only because I feel like you do get that extra coverage and your foundation sets really nice. And I am in the color Bronze Beige, which is a beautiful like olive tone that looks really, really good on a lot of skin. So I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a flatter brush. You can also take a fluffy brush depending. So if you are a very, very oily person, I recommend doing something more flatter brush. But if you are more on the dry side, you can just take the brush and just run it. So that's a personal preference. So I'm going to be taking that. I'm going to start with my under eye first, right in this area. Go back. Emma said, when you use damp sponge, how do I know when it's the right amount of damp? So what I like to do is always take a napkin, go in there like this, and when your napkin is not wet at all, that means it's damp. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and set my forehead. Okay. Just keep going. Now, same thing when you are doing your powder, you want to go down. Do not forget that. Okay. So once we're done that, we're going to go into our contour. So I personally prefer powder contour over cream contours, but that's only because I feel like my skin, well, in Florida, it's super duper like hot and humid, and I don't like when my makeup melts off. So I feel like powder just looks better on my skin. So, and it's easier, it's quicker. If you are a mom or if you just go to work very early in the morning, this is so much easier than going in with cream contour and then a powder contour. And I am going to be in the color Waka Waka Mineral Bronzer. This is amazing. It is so fine, like you literally don't even feel it on your face. Let me see, what questions do we have before we go? If Jenner asked what kind of powder am I using, if you're asking about the powder foundation, it's just called the powder foundation, and I am in the color Bronze Beige. Nick said, because of my skin tone is so dark, it's always hard for me to find a base powder because it always looks ashy. So we do have a translucent powder on the website that is a deeper skin tone. So you can definitely do that instead of doing a translucent powder. Okay, so we're gonna go into our contour and bronzer. So this is like my favorite part because during this quarantine, the amount of snacks that I've had, we need to hide them. Like they need to go away from this face. Like I'm over it. So I love taking a brush that's a little bit slanted because that's just my favorite style of brush. You can even take something a little bit bigger, but as long as it's slanted, it should be good to go. Swirl your brush into your powder, take off the excess. This is super duper fine, by the way. So take a little bit excess. So the way I like to contour my face, that I tell most of the people to do it because it's easier, you see the arch of your brow, and when you go in the middle, that's where you want to stop. And then you're going to be like, but where do I start? You know how we all make that fish face to take selfies because we look skinnier? So that's your contour point. So if you do make a fish face, everybody has that line right over there, and that's exactly what we're going to follow. And where you want to stop is where your eyebrow arches. We all have that arch. It's like your guidance. You don't specifically have to stop there. It's just to guide you that this is where you should stop. So go in there, hold the brush further away. That's always going to be your best friend, and let the brush do the work. And that's when we are going to be blending it out. And again, add as you're going. And just blend, blend, blend. When you are blending it, move your hair back and blend it into your hairline. Rachel said, can we go over contouring the chin? Under the chin, I have zero neck and always has too much contour and look muddy. Sure, that's exactly what we're going to do. So again, add as you need more. So if you look at this side of the contour versus this side, look at this. You see the chubby Doritos face over here, and this looks a little bit better. So same thing on this side. What is the shade for? Okay. Now we're gonna go into our forehead. So I do like to do a lot of forehead because I feel like this gives you that nice warmth to your skin. So what I like to do is always hold back your hair, because again, you do not want to see a line, especially if you're going to put your hair back. Push your hair back, go into the corners and blend. And as you're blending, blend into your hairline so you do not see a round line around your face. Blend, blend, blend. We're connecting like a number 3, which goes like that. So just blend. Bump said, can we contour the nose, please? Yes, we are going to get to that. So now pick up more. We're going to do the other side. Same thing. Move your hair back and blend into your hairline, because again, you do not want to see the lines. So, and then a little bit right around here. Same thing. Always blend it upwards. So this is going to bring that beautiful bronze to your skin. Okay. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hiding this, that never goes away because it's full of food. So we're going to make it work. Take your bronzer again. We're going to do our jawline right over here. Go underneath it, right over here and up to your ear. Priyanka asked, how do you know, what do you think about wet contouring versus powder? When you say wet, do you mean cream contour, which would be like a concealer? You can do both. If you want that very like dramatic contour, you would do a liquid first, and that's when you're going to go in with the powder to lock it into place, because if you just use liquid on its own, it tends to move a lot. Same thing. We're gonna pick up, do the other side. Again, underneath, don't come over here, go underneath that bone. Okay. Now we're gonna hide this part. So remember, your bronzer, your contour is always an illusion. So go underneath and blend it downwards. You're giving it an illusion of a thinner face. Look at that. Doritos are hidden. Sexy Lala said, I need to find a bronzer, but I have been scared. Waka Waka bronzer, girl, you better hop on that train because it is beautiful. Okay. Perfect. So at this point, you can add bronzer more if you needed to, or you can just step right there. See? You want to see those cheekbones popping when you turn. Somebody asked me to do the nose contour, so I am going to go and do a little bit of nose contour. I do like to take a smaller brush when it comes to nose contouring because everybody has a different nose and I want to control more about that. So Stacy's asking, how do you pick the correct color contour? You basically want to pick something that is not too brown or is not too gray, so you don't look ashy or you don't look orange. That's why I do like Waka Waka, because that works with so many skin tones and it doesn't make you look ashy or orange. So for our nose contour, we're going to be picking this product up again. Rid of it. So the way to do your nose contour without looking crazy, go onto the side, you see where your eyebrow starts. Take that as a guidance, go lower right over here and place that product on the side. Again, hold your brush further away and let the brush do the work. And move that product into your eyebrow area because you want everything to look the same. So it doesn't look like you had a bad nose job done. Bring it up. Bring it up. Again, less is more. Add as you're going instead of adding a lot of product as one. So if you can look at this side of my face versus this, you can tell that this side of the nose just looks more snatched than this side. And then right here, same exact thing. Blend it upwards. Linda said, how do you make your bottom of your nose thinner and shorter? So everybody has a different nose. I have more of a rounder nose, so I will tell you like how to kind of contour the rounder side. But that works with a lot of people too. So if you have a sharper nose, like if you have that beautiful, perfect, pointy nose, you do not contour underneath because what that's going to do is going to make it look rounder. So you do not want that. But if you do have a rounder nose, you will go underneath a little bit, like the letter V a little bit, and then contour like that. Because you're giving an illusion. And then go upwards again from this side. And upwards. Again, let the brush do the job. You don't need to push harder. The closer you hold the brush and the more you blend like this, the harder you're putting products on and the harder it gets to blend. So lighter and just boom. Okay. Now, at this point, if you ever feel like you see a very sharp line, don't freak out. You want to go into the exact brush that you used all over your face for your powder foundation and then just blend it on the side like that, like just very lightly. And what it will do is take away any line and make it look more like natural, very natural. There you go. See? Super snatched. Also, for the contour that we did on one side, if you want that contour to pop even more, you're going to take your foundation powder that we used, take it on the same brush a little bit, and right where you contoured, you can, right over here, just on the corner, just go a little bit like that, and it will make it look even more snatched, and your face will look beautiful. There. Just like that. Because again, we're carving. DG Weezy asks, what if you have a bump on your nose? How do you contour that? So it just depends where your bump is. If you do have a bump in the middle of your nose, that's more like a highlight. So I will say totally avoid this area with product, because the more product you put on a problematic area, the more it does enhance it. So totally skip that part. Let's see some questions before we move on to the blush and highlight. Thank you guys, you're so nice. What bronzer? Idel, sorry if I'm saying somebody's name wrong, but you said what bronzer would work for a tanner skin tone? So medium skin tone. Waka Waka bronzer, the baked bronzer, will be amazing for your skin tone. Anybody can actually wear this bronzer because, again, like I said, it's not too orange or gray. Now I'm going to be going to the favorite part of my whole makeup, which is a blush. I'm a blush person. Like, just fake that glow. Like, who cares? Just fake it. So I'm going to be using the Mineral Baked blush in Bootylicious. I love this Bootylicious blush. So I'm going to be taking a brush for my blush. What I'm going to do is lightly pick up the blush on this. So these are super, super pigmented, by the way. Do not go crazy in there and try to do it unless you're trying to look like, I don't know, someone, but just very lightly. And the best place to put a blush is when you smile. So you see those cheeks are starting to pop from here. Unless you have a very, very skinny face, start putting your blush right at the apples of your cheeks because it makes you look fuller. But if you have fuller cheeks like somebody like my face, which is a little bit more like full, always take your blush and go upwards instead of bringing it inwards because it's not going to enhance this area. So take that blush, go upwards. Not in this area, right underneath, and it's automatically going to blend with your bronzer. Okay, same thing on the other side. Just go upwards. Anushka Dukwa asks, how do I figure out which blush works for me? So blush is a very personal preference. Like, to be honest, you can wear any color of blush. It doesn't matter. If you are on the lighter skin tone, I usually recommend that you wear something more on the nudes and pinks. And if you like peaches, like the orange tones, go with something warmer because it looks really nice on somebody that has really light skin. But if you are on the medium to deep skin tone, I absolutely loves like those deep mauve tones and beautiful oranges. Like, I have a color that I absolutely love that I can show you, girls. There. It's from Il Makiage. It's called Toxic. It is one of the most beautiful blushes ever. It is great for deep skin tones and then medium skin tones. And I can even layer it on top and it looks beautiful. It's literally like that Kardashian blush. You just go on top of it. And it has a little bit of shimmer, but it's not chunky shimmer. It's like very, very fine. So it just makes your skin glow. There. See? Now let me read some more questions before we hop on to the last part, which is highlighting. Peach tones. Patricia asks, is better powder or liquid products for 50 years old ladies? So it doesn't matter. age is literally a number. So if you do feel like you're 50 years old and you're more cautious about wearing powder blushes because they might enhance your lines, the best way to actually avoid those lines is going to be the no filter primer, because when you do put primer in this area, it fills in your pores and lines, so that area looks super pretty. And when you do put blush on top of it, it actually lasts you all day and doesn't enhance any single line or wrinkles on your face. Nikhil said, what was the name of the blush again? So the first one that I put on was Bootylicious, and the other one, the more peachy orange one, was called Toxic. So Miss Forever Girl said she has rosacea and she's scared of wearing a blush. It looks like you have rosacea, so try to go with something warmer. So if you don't want to contour, you can wear Waka Waka bronzer as a blush, and since it is very, very light, it looks beautiful as a blush too. Wanda said, which one is better, powder or liquid for dark circles under eye? If you're talking about a concealer for under eye, then concealers are usually liquid, so it is better. Converted Cherry said, again, why do we have to use bronzer to do this? Can we just do this with just contour? So remember, contour is more gray undertone, while a bronzer has a little bit of a neutral undertone. So it does have a little bit of orange in it, and it also has a little bit of gray. So it's a perfect neutral undertone. So if you do have a natural contour, that's usually gray. So if you just leave that gray, it doesn't look as pretty, while you do add a bronzer on top and your skin looks much warmer with that. I hope I answered you with that. Okay. So now we're going to be going into the last part, which is your highlight. I will be using the loose highlighter, and it's called the Nimrah highlighter, and the color is called Satin. It's like a very pretty champagne gold. It's not too gold or not too light. So it is like that. It comes with a little plastic thing on it. I do not like to open this all the way. I just leave it halfway so it doesn't go everywhere. I'm going to take a little bit of that product in my lid, just a little bit. It is very pigmented, so you kind of don't need a lot of product. I wonder if you guys can see that. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a smaller brush for highlight. I am going to pick up my highlight with this. So a lot of people always ask me, like, where do you really put the highlight? So if you are an oily girl, do not touch this area for highlight. Try to go on this side so you do not enhance that oil. So when you do get oily throughout the whole day and your foundation will start splitting up, I know a lot of people always have complained with that. So again, do not come here. Where we're going to put highlight is same thing with the eyebrow. I am very big with your eyebrow arch because this is your best friend. So when you go down like that and you hit this bone right over here, that's exactly where you're going to place your highlight first. Now remember, wherever you put the product first is wherever it's going to be the most amount of pigment. So keep your brush right over there and then go upwards, just like that. Again, let the brush do the work. You don't need to be doing the work. Just move your face. You want to make your skin look like it's glowing from within, like wet. So when you turn, you see that glow right there. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other side. Again, your brow is your guidance, and boom. Same thing, add as you're going instead of just adding all together. Boom, go up. Same thing. So for my nose, I do have a rounder nose, so I do not like to enhance that. So all you girls out there, you do have a rounder nose. Where I like to put my highlight, instead of putting it in this area, I just like to put in the bridge of my nose because it makes it look like I have a longer nose instead of a rounder nose when I put it on top. So just right there. See? Just like that. Also, if you girls are going out, well, not right now, but usually in real life, when we're out of this quarantine. I do like taking the highlighter. And then one more place that I love putting highlighter, and I do recommend doing this at nighttime, not during the day. Same thing, arch, your best friend, right on top, and boom, just a little bit. So when you turn, you see that glow right there. You might sometimes feel like your highlight doesn't look as pigmented, but it actually really does. It's just when you're looking at it, it doesn't look a lot, but the moment the light touches your face, you really, really, really see it. And then boom, a little bit right there. So right here. And if you did wanted your lips to look a little bit bigger, you can do your Cupid's bow a little bit, and it just enhances that lip line very, very nice. And then the last step I will be doing is the Il Makiage setting spray. So this is life. Like, everybody needs it. You need to carry this on you. It will make your makeup last so much longer. And if you do want a brighter highlight than what I already have on, what you will do is you're going to be taking that highlight again, take a spray, brush it, and there. It will be even more brighter just because your setting spray is going to make it even more crazier. So same thing on the other side. Since I already have spray on this, boom. One more time. I will be taking my setting spray. Just go like that. And that's your face. Now let me see some questions. When can Gwen Taylor said, I've been looking for a blush and cannot figure out which color. I'm an African American deep. So I would totally recommend Toxic for you. Toxic is a beautiful color. It looks great on every skin tone, specifically for deeper skin tone. If you girls have any other questions, just go ahead and ask me. And I really hope this was very helpful for all of you, that you guys did learn something new. Tanya said, I'm not great at blending. I need more practice. So like I said, always hold your brush further away. The further you hold your brush, the more easier it blends, so nothing looks cakey. The closer you hold your brush, the more product you're putting on, and the less easier it is to blend. Said, I have tan skin color and I don't know which corrector to use. A peach corrector, when you do go on the website, they will ask you for your depth of tone, which is light, medium, tan, and then they're going to ask you for your undertone, which is going to be like yellow, orange, and olive. That's going to be your undertone. Angela asked me, what color is your nail polish? I actually do have it. I painted it. It's OPI. It's called My Chihuahua Bites. That's what it is. Even though not Il Makiage, but I'll just tell you, I saw a bunch of questions about it. Somebody asked me, do you use contour before bronzer? So I feel like since Waka Waka bronzer is already a neutral undertone, I don't really need to contour with another color. Like, this already does the job for me. Like, I'm very happy with the way it makes the skin looks. I'm glad, Laura, you learned something new. Okay, let's see some more questions. Meg on top asked me, do you set with powder ever? I do use the foundation powder to set my face. I am not a huge fan. I wouldn't say a huge fan, but I just personally prefer the foundation powder because I feel like it just gives me the coverage, and also it just makes my makeup last longer. And I love the powder foundation. We do have translucent powder if you're one of those girls who absolutely love translucent. And also translucent powder is great for touch-ups because it's not cakey at all. So you just go run it and takes your oil out. Angie said, do you set after your concealer? Yes, I do use the foundation powder to set underneath my eyes. I don't use a translucent powder to bake. I feel like I have lines, and if I use a translucent powder to bake, it does make my skin looks more dry and wrinkly, and I don't like that. Somebody asked me, do you use moisturizer before the primer? Yes, it doesn't matter what skin you have, please always use your moisturizer. Skincare is the way to start, and then always add on your makeup. Nick B asked, what is a good translucent powder for darker skin? Il Makiage does have like deeper skin tone translucent powder of color, which is not clear. It is more deeper skin tone, so you can totally go for that. Do you bake? No, I do not bake. I just set with my foundation powder. That's just my favorite way to set instead of baking. Did I put on base? Yes, I did put on base. I woke up like this foundation in 125. Okay, so we are running out of time. So if there's a couple more questions, we'll take it and then we will be ending the live. How do you combat watery eyes so you don't ruin the foundation? Well, that just depends on what sense you're asking that. Like if you're asking about doing a liner or something and it runs, translucent powder will be your best friend, or a foundation powder will be your best friend. You can always put it underneath and then it should be good to go. And sometimes you might have an allergy from a product too that tends to make you watery. Somebody asked me, what about the lipstick with this? I am actually wearing the Il Makiage lip liner, the creamy lip liner in coffee. And I am wearing the liquid lipstick in the color, it's called Matte Karma. This is beautiful. Like, it doesn't even rub off and it looks very nice. And the lip liners are amazing. How do you minimize open pores when applying the foundation? Your best friend is going to be the No Filter Primer. This is absolutely amazing and everybody needs it. It's like skincare in a bottle, basically, and also in primer. Also, before we do end, you guys will be getting a special offer in your email once the class is over. So if you do want to purchase any product, there will be something in your email. So look out for that. Somebody asked, how do you cover dark skin near your mouth? So that would be the color corrector and then your concealer. All right, guys. Well, we're over the time. There's a bunch of other amazing, beautiful pro artists that are going to be coming on here too. And you can always hop onto Il Makiage YouTube channel and just watch a bunch of videos. And there's a lot of them teaching you about different products too, like baking, contouring, foundation, primer, eyeshadow, eyebrows. So just keep up with that. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon and we can do something else. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and stay safe. And don't forget to subscribe to Il Makiage channel.